We are getting a bit of a break, but not for long. Meteorologist Rob Carlmar is going to explain that in just a second. First, though, we want to take a look at the outages we're seeing right now. Let's talk about PG&E. Thousands in the dark across the foothills this morning. There's also a number of outages in Davis. The Bay Area near Mountain View and Saratoga is seeing the worst of all of this.
And there are multiple outages impacting the Sacramento area as well. The majority near Carmichael, North Highlands, and Wilson.
Also right now, evacuation orders in place for the Lovey's Landing Mobile Home Park. That's just south of Colusa in Sutter County. The Sacramento River is expected to rise above 65 feet by noon, so power will be shut off at the park for safety.
And check this out. We mentioned it off the top here. This water rescue caught on camera. Sac Metro Fire says a kayaker disappeared on the American River near Rancho Cordova. Person was located and airlifted to the hospital. Metro Fire tells us they cannot emphasize it enough. Do not go out on the rivers during these storm events. ABC 10 does have team coverage of the impact of the storm.
Bridget Biorlo, Monica Coleman, both standing by on the community impact of mudslides and flooding fears.
Okay, first though, let's check in with Rob and Jordan for a look at your weather and traffic. So Rob, the wind event was exactly what you said, man. I'm just thankful not a lot of trees came down.
Yeah, you know, it really depends. We did lose some trees, but as far as huge widespread outages like we saw in January, and the number of trees that came down was not in the thousands, in the dozens here and there. But as you saw right off the top there in the Bay Area and Antioch area and some of those spots, a lot of huge power outages that's going to take a little time to restore. The rivers and creeks are still running high, so I don't want this to get lost in a mostly good weather story that we have, which is drying out. If you see a road closed sign, don't go past it. It's there for a reason, and it's still going to take about a day, day and a half for some of the big rivers to start to come down as well. What we're seeing this morning post-storm is some patchy but dense fog, but overall, this is a good weather story as we see breezy conditions helping to dry things out, and we're going to see sunshine later on today. The area of foggy concerns are going to be right along the lower foothills where we are seeing near zero visibility, right along 49 in many spots. And yes, it still is snowing in the southern part of our area once you get past Groveland, Copperopolis, and Yosemite, but that is continuing to march down to the south. So the wind will start to take over. It will be breezy today, and that's why you definitely want a jacket. It's that cold north wind, but this is about what we can expect today. 5 to 10 miles per hour, maybe some gusts up to 15. Not bad at all, and clear and sunny conditions. So this is going to be day one of many in a row, including going into at least part of your weekend with sunny and nice conditions. Now, yesterday, the roads were an absolute mess, as you would expect with all the rain and wind that moved through. Let's go ahead and get a quick update here with Jordan.
Today is a lot quieter than yesterday, thankfully. People waking up to a dry commute. So if you're just about to head out the door, pouring your coffee into your to-go cup, looking at a really nice commute, especially around the Sacramento area through Stockton, Modesto, not seeing any major delays this morning. This is Highway 99 at Fruit Ridge there. 99 into Sacramento, seeing a little bit of slow-moving traffic, which is pretty typical for this time of morning. Checking out the Tracy Triangle up 580. This is where you're going to see some really slow-moving traffic, as well as the top of 580, just right off of 205 between Tracy and Livermore this morning. Other than that, pretty quiet traffic morning. We are seeing some issues, though, however, up near Truckee on I-80 as well. So watch out for that if you're headed toward the high country.
All right, Jordan, thank you. 6:32 is your time on this Wednesday morning. Another disaster caused by all this rain is this: mudslides. Colfax cleaning up today after a large one damaged at least one home and made others nearby evacuate. Warnings have been lifted, but the concern is definitely not over. ABC 10's Bridget Biorlo joins us now near Ben Taylor Road where that mudslide happened. So, Bridget, what are you seeing out there? Is there a possibility of more?
There is that possibility. Walt, conditions out here are very wet and muddy due to that heavy rainfall and gusty winds that sent debris flying through a home just up this road. Thankfully, everyone was able to get out inside, but it really rattled people living here. Let's take a peek at the ground that is very saturated from all these back-to-back storms. We have a creek here, and take a look at this uphill. We have roots protruding from the soil here, which is making the ground very unstable. There were evacuation warnings in this area that have since been lifted, but it was quite the scene yesterday. The winds even knocked down a large tree on the road we're standing on, Placer Hills Road. It went on to power lines, so outages have been an ongoing issue. And yesterday, Placer County sent out a geologist to assess all the damage, to assess also the stability of the ground to make sure it was safe enough for people to return to. For now, they gave the all clear, but neighbors say they are very uneasy this morning and they were not expecting that mudslide to occur just down the street. Take a listen.
The snap, it went boom!
Really, really windy. The trees looked like they were going to go over.
You look over here and it's a hole. It's filled with mud. It just keeps coming too. Hopefully it stops raining.
And mudslides are one of those things that you can't really predict. It happens very quickly. Conditions are ever changing in this area. So just because the evacuation warnings have been lifted for now, they could be reinstated, Walt. So people are being told to keep an eye on the news and social media to make sure when those warnings come back in place to get out before it's too late, Walt.
Yeah, if Bridget Biorlo shows up on your street, it's probably not a good thing because there's a reason you're there. That location had wildfire damage a while ago, and we've seen a lot of this in Southern California because after the wildfire comes through, there's moving debris flow, and mudslides, right?
Exactly. It makes the area very vulnerable, Walt. Back in August 2021, the River Fire, a very destructive fire, tore through this area, really devastated the vegetation, burnt a lot of the roots that hold the soil together, which is why we saw a lot of the roots protruding here. Not a good recipe for mudslides, and that's why when this intense rainfall comes in, people really need to take it seriously, Walt.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, Bridget, thank you for covering that story today. And while some mudslides do come out of nowhere, there are a few things to watch out for. It includes tilting telephone poles and trees and rumbling sounds.
And then, of course, all that rain comes down the Sierra and foothills, and then it has to go somewhere. Well, ABC 10's Monica Coleman is joining us live this morning. Monica, fears are rising for communities along the Cosumnes River. You're in Wilton. What are residents telling you there?
Well, Bria, people in Wilton are preparing for this next round of storms. I'm here at the fire department. You can see they have a list of sites where people can go to get sandbags to hunker down their items. Just yesterday, the winds were howling at high speeds across the neighborhoods here in Wilton, and now people are preparing for this next round. And with on and off rain in Wilton, one of the fears is the overflow of the Cosumnes River. The Reclamation District 800 says as long as the crest stays at or below 12.7 feet, they will be in good shape. Today is expected to peak at about 11 feet, so people are holding out hope that the water level and levees will hold, but things could always change.
I hope it stops because our home had 3 feet of water in it, the office and the shop and those kind of things. From a community standpoint, this isn't necessarily, I mean, what's not hurting us doesn't mean they're not going to see flooding on Dillon Road or Green Road or something like that.
The wind also was cause for concern yesterday as many feared down trees would lead to down power lines, and now we are learning that people in Wilton are in the dark this morning, and we are also learning that the water from yesterday's storm was creeping up to people's doorsteps and ruining their home appliances and their furniture, so now they're left to clean up that mess. But we do have some good news to report. That I was talking with people at the gas station this morning, and they say that due to January's storm that caused dozens of people to be trapped in their cars and left 3 dead, they're more prepared this time around. So a lot of people are using the knowledge that they learned from January to be more prepared today.
Yep, and that's why we talk about these things, so other people are aware of them and they can stay prepared so that anything that comes their way, they are ready to meet it. Monica, thank you. Well, today, the Department of Water Resources is addressing some big questions. It's expected to provide updates on the latest flood concerns for rivers, levees, and weirs. Also, the current status of reservoirs and storage. This starts today at 1. It's only online. And if you want to keep track of the weather in your area, just download the ABC 10 app. You can get hour-to-hour forecasts for your specific neighborhood. Plus, you can keep up with traffic updates and, of course, all of the latest storm stories.